Well, hello everyone. It's Joni from Joni's Journals. Welcome and welcome back. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Tracy has out another story. It's another investigation case, similar to the one from Creep on June 2024. But it's like another chapter in the story. And this one is about a place called Potter's Infirmary. So in lieu of making a big, gigantic journal, I decided to make a brochure, which welcomes you to Potter's Infirmary. But prior to it becoming the workhouse that it really is in the beginning, it was more like a spa where people would come and, see a doctor or have some health issues worked on and things to that effect. And if you listen to the story, it eventually becomes a little bit less than that. It's not a pleasant place. But I figured let's pretend and start out that it's a lovely place where people come perhaps to see a doctor or to rest and relax. And so its original name is Potter's End. Okay, and so my little brochure is mostly done. You can see I have some blank spots here. I haven't decided what I'm going to put there. More than likely it'll be something stamped on there. But welcome to Potter's End. And when you open up your brochure, you see that they have pictures of the staff employees that work there. This is the gentleman that runs the bar and the drink counter. And these are pictures of some of the residents. I've included in my little brochure a little tag book that just gives you a brief little photo looking at the front of the building. These are all tags and ephemera in the kit. One of the younger residents who's come to stay there for a while. Another family photo of 3 of the children that have come to stay there. And then we have, in the end, on the back rather, a picture of Potter's End in the evening with the moon rising over, and you can see the shadows of the trees and some of the little accoutrements in the area, their backyards and their flower beds and things to that effect. And so we do have our residents. I've pulled out some of the photos from the Infirmary Kit that comes with it, and this is their mode of transportation should you happen to need to be, what's the word I want to say? Not ambulated, but taken in an ambulance maybe to the hospital if your condition that you've come to visit Potter's End becomes something more serious. And of course, they're beautiful accommodations, some of the furniture and the clock, which plays a part in the story, which I will link. And, so you can see the accommodations. And so, again, we have another piece of furniture that's, part of what you would see when you were staying there. And so, that is our brochure with the information about Potter's End. Okay, before we move on to what we're going to make, I'm going to explain to you how I made the brochure. I do have pages printed out that I want to add to this as writing space, perhaps for a smaller journal, but I haven't figured out how I want to put them in yet. So I haven't cut them and I haven't done anything to them, but that'll probably be something maybe we'll step into as a second part to this. But let me explain to you how I made this. It is made out of a file folder. And what I did was I took my file folder and I'm just grabbing the other piece. And I cut off the end with the tab. Okay. And so what I did was I measured out to be just about 12 inches across. And I don't know if you're going to be able to make it out, but I did leave in that little ridgy part that is part of the folder, so that if you have to make it bigger or smaller to accommodate the papers you want to put into it, you have these little ridges that will make you a wider, let's see if I can do this, will make you a little bit of a wider base. Okay, those little ridge parts, they might show better on this side, okay? I did keep that. And so from the top of this little part, which is the other side of where the tab would lay, like the tab lays in here, okay? I kept this part because I wanted to make it so that each side of the folder, the front part and the back part, had a tab, okay? So I kept that, and from this point, which is the very top of the tab, all the way over here to the bottom, this is 12 inches. And I took advantage of this area, and I folded this little part up to be our pocket. So that's at about 3.5 inches. So what you'll have is something that looks like that, okay? So you're basically cutting off this end, okay? And since my file folders are not completely square, I've found that trying to use the scoreboard to divide this in half, plus it's a weird length, a weird width, it doesn't divide evenly. What I've done is I've taken and I have folded my file folder in half, okay, and met the ends together like so. I just want to make sure they're even all the way across like so we get it even. Again, I'm working around my tripod, so it's a little bit difficult, and it is kind of lopsided. I don't know, I think maybe it's the quality of the file folder, but I have folded them in half like so, okay? I folded them in half straight down to the bottom. And see, mine's crooked. Let's see if I can just straighten that out. Is it even? All right, let me take my bone folder now and try to make this completely straight. I don't know what happened. Like I said, the quality of these file folders is not the best. And yeah, it doesn't want to seem to lay across evenly. So we're just gonna do our very best, like so. Okay, I think we got it. It's close enough. Let me grab my bone folder and give it a hard press down so that it's a straight, flat fold. And it's probably gonna come out to be, no, it's not too bad. It came out rather straight. Okay, so you're folding your piece of file folder in half, okay? So you have this, and then you have your little pocket, and you're going to fold that up, and we're going to take, and we're just going to fold it again over like this, and again, we're going to make sure it's straight, and it's pretty even. Like I said, again, I don't think these are inexpensive. These may be the ones that I bought from the Dollar Tree, so they're not the best quality paper. And so, yeah, let me see if I can just do this the best I can. And so you're going to push down again, okay? And this way you'll have your pocket folded exactly the way you want it, okay? I'm just going to push these sides down again. And then we're going to open it up, and you have your little folio with your pocket. Now, in order to make it bend nicely like so, what I did was I took and I cut out the centerpiece. This one was my experiment. The one that we're going to work on is the one where it's actually cut this way, but I don't want to do that yet because I don't want you to see it. It's funny. All right, now what you're going to do, you see this seam here that you have right down the middle? What you're going to do, in order for it to be less bulky, we're going to cut out a little bit on both sides of this folded seam here, Okay, so I'm just going to grab my scissor and I'm going to cut up, yeah, I don't even know how much, just a smidge, you know, a smidge. We've used that measurement before. A smidge over to the right of the fold, and we're going to cut, and we're going to cut, and we're going to cut up to and maybe a little over this fold here. And then I'm just going to turn it over because you guys know I can't cut on the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to cut just a smidge over from the crease mark, like so, and go all the way down. And yeah, are they going to be a little crooked? Probably. And then we're going to take and we're going to cut this little excess piece off here. Just going to give it a snip, like so. Okay? And so what you're going to have are a pocket on each side, but they're no longer connected. You can leave it connected if you want to. I didn't like it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to round the corners on both of these, like so. And let's see. I think we'll use a size 7. Okay? And around the corner here. And I'm going to round the corner here, like so. My corner rounder doesn't seem to like me today. Okay. And then we're just going to round the corner here. And we're going to round the corner here. Okay? And what you'll end up with are your 2 little flaps. Now on here, I did make my pockets separate because this was my prototype as well as my completed project so that you could see it. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to need because your pockets are going to end up to be approximately 5 3/4 inches wide by, and they are, I know, 3.5 inches high. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut, let me just grab my piece of paper. For your pockets, you're going to cut them 3 1/4 inches deep and 5 1/2 inches wide. You're going to need 2 pieces of decorative paper, which is what we have here. Okay. These parts are 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. So both pockets, you need 2 like that. And then in order to cover the back of your page up to just below where this little tab is, you're going to need to make 5 pieces that are 5 1/2 by 7 7/8. You're going to need to make 4 of those, okay? You want to cover here and here, and of course, the front and the back, okay? So that's the way that you can decorate it, all right? So here was the initial one, which was our brochure again, telling us all about the lovely Potter's End. But if you've listened to the story, it turns out in reality that Potter's End was not a pleasant place to be, and it was in essence a workhouse that provided residence for, a residence hall for people to come and work and also to live and to be fed. But the situation there and the accommodations there were not truly a wonderful place to live. Families were split up, children were taken from their parents. And so what I thought we would also do as an opposition to or a accompaniment, yeah, I think so, was make a little file folder or a brochure that tells you what Potter's End truly was, and it's an infirmary. So as you can see, I have taken and I have changed welcome to Potter's End to unwelcome to Potter's Infirmary. And I have created some words again for myself. I don't think that it would be proper if I put these out even as a freebie for anyone. I haven't discussed it with Tracy. I didn't want to, what's it called, jump in her Kool-Aid or step on her toes and make something that I was giving to you to use. So, but you can see what I did. I basically just typed out words and I scuffed them all up and I made it unwelcome to Potter's Infirmary. Okay. And you can see that the outside of the building is quite different from the outside of this building. This is the brochure to, I guess, make people believe that they were coming to live in a lovely place when in effect they were coming to live here. Okay, I've left one of the pages undecorated, and you can see these are my pockets. I made them in this one the way I wanted them to be. I've already glued this one down, but you can see they're the flaps, just like we have here. Okay, and yours might vary a little if you cut further away from your seam, or if you, and not your seam, your crease, they might be a little bit different. Measure, you can figure it out. I made mine 1/4 of an inch smaller than the actual size of the pocket because I wanted this border. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to finish gluing down the last page on the inside of our brochure here. And I'm just going to grab my glue, which hopefully is going to work. And we'll get our glue out and we'll glue down our last page and our last little pocket. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been around much lately, and it's not that I haven't been crafting. I just haven't found the time to be able to film. I'm grabbing little bits of time to actually do some crafting, and I will show you what I've been working on, because if you know me, you know I love Halloween. And so, of course, and you also know that I love Tim Holtz. So you have to know that I have purchased a lot of the Tim Holtz stuff. I'm just going to make this piece as even with this piece as I possibly can. And I just want to make sure that it goes down straight. Okay, you can even make this piece, the 5.5 by, what was it? 5.5 by 7 7/8 piece. You could make it shorter if you don't want to go all the way to the bottom, if you don't want to waste paper. I printed out pages from the Creep on June kit, and I'm trying to think of what else. Some of the papers from the Potter's End kit as well. And so here's our little pocket. I'm just going to glue this on the front, and then we'll glue that pocket closed. Yeah, but I grabbed from the Creep on June. I grabbed from, oh gosh, where else did I grab from? I can't think of the name of the kit. I'll link all the kits in the description box below the video. And this way you can go over and check them all out. But again, the words that I used are something that I created on my computer for myself. And you can hear my husband's home and my dogs are playing. To them, it's like play fighting. And when they get to be too rambunctious, we usually put them outside to fight, play, whatever you want to call it. They've just eaten dinner. I was going to make this video about half an hour ago. I was actually going to do it a few hours ago. But if you don't already know, I do live in Florida, and we felt the effects of Hurricane Helene the other day. We did not get the hurricane, but we got severe tropical storm force winds. Yeah, we had to clean off the lanai and clean up everything outside and just bring it all in so that it didn't blow all over the place. We had a lot of water. What I originally thought was a 3 to 4 foot storm surge, because I didn't go out in it. My husband and my daughter did, because they love to venture out in these crazy kinds of weather. I'm just gluing my pocket down, and you can see I just put a fine line of glue up the edge here, almost all the way to the top, but I do not go all the way to the top. My boys are trying to get in, so I may have to stop the video for just a second. And yeah, we'll just glue our pockets down. Yep, there's my boys. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen pictures of both my buddies, my filming buddies. But yeah, there we go. So now we have our last page glued down and our pocket glued down. And so we have our little brochure all done and ready to decorate. And let's see. Yeah, we've only been at this about 20 minutes. I forgot totally my train of thought. Oh, but yeah, that was what it was. I was going to film a little bit earlier today, but as I said, we had that storm, and my heart goes out to the people in the Panhandle because they really got it bad. But we had a 7 or 8 foot storm surge out in our street. The water was halfway up our driveway. Our house is 9.5 foot above sea level, and it was getting kind of close. But my cousin came over when I was going to begin filming to discuss with my husband, who does construction, different things about different ways that she could protect her home, because we have hurricane glass, and we weren't really worried about, because there were tornado warnings and all sorts of just, it was very frightening. Okay, what we are going to do, as you can see, we do have 2 different fronts. This is the one that people are led to believe that Potter's End or Infirmary really looks like, and this is what it really looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this brochure basically the same as that brochure. Okay, so we are going to add pictures for our staff and our residents, but they're going to be a little bit different looking than the people who are in the deceptive brochure. I'm just going to get up, and I am going to close my door again because my little doggy has opened it. Okay, he's pretty much settled, so I don't think we'll have to worry that he needs to go back out again. Excuse my squeaky chair, as always. But yes, we have pictures of what our staff really looks like. Okay, and they make me giggle, but they are all part of the kit. This is our head nurse. Okay, and I thought that she needed the place of honor down here on the bottom so that everyone could see her clearly. This is the head doctor. Okay, and this is his nurse, one of his nurses, and I do have another one here. I think they're kind of stuck together. And this is another one of the nurses. So yes, this is what the staff in Potter's Infirmary, aka Potter's End Spa and whatever, really look like. All right, and so I figured we would just take them and we would put them like this, or maybe we'll put the nurses at the top and the doctor in the front. Okay. All right, and our little head nurse, of course, gets the place of honor on the pocket. Or actually, I think the doctor should get the place of honor on the pocket. We'll put him down there, and we'll put all of his staff up here, just waiting to take care of someone. You know, whatever your needs might be, they're there to accommodate you. All right, so I'm just going to grab my glue again, and I'm going to glue the pictures down. As I said, these are all part of the kit, and it is Potter's Infirmary. All right, and I will link the video. As with Creep on June, Tracy did a I don't know if you'd call it, it wasn't really a voiceover, it was more of a storytelling video with pictures, telling us all about, I think it's CPI Case 391. Okay, and of course, we do have the same staff working, investigating the supposed goings on at Potter's End. And so, yeah, we'll just glue them down. And I think I've figured it out. My friend Angie at Angie Garcia Art actually took the time out to write in detail how I need to tag someone else's video or even my own videos. And I think I may have gotten it down to the point where I should be able to link the video telling the story all about Potter's End and CPI Case 391. And so, yeah, I will do my very best to link that. Or I can, if it doesn't work, I always link Tracy's channel, and you can go over and you can look for it. It's a relatively recent video. It may have only come out, oh gosh, about 2 weeks ago, because I had all of this stuff set and ready to go last weekend, but by the time I finished cutting and coloring and inking everything, it was just too late in the day to make my video. My life seems to have become very hectic lately. And of course, I'm back at work, so I can't really film too much during the week. And because of Hurricane Helene, I was off from work an extra 2 days this week because they shut our school down. It's a shelter, I guess I don't know, it's a shelter. I don't know if it has a specific name, but for Hurricane Ian, it was a shelter for people in the area whose homes may not be secure enough to stand up to hurricane force winds, or even for people that, don't feel safe in their own home. They can come and they can stay at our school. There are cots provided and drinks and some snacks and stuff. So, yeah, they closed our school early, but unfortunately, Thursday, the storm hit. And Friday was cleanup day because we did have to put our home back together. And yeah, so I didn't get to do anything yesterday. And then today, like I said, just when I was about to go and make my video, my cousin came over to speak to my husband about having hurricane windows and hurricane shutters, automatic ones, put up on her house. And so my husband, since he's in the construction business, he has contacts, and so she came over hoping he would be able to help her. So there we are. There's our staff. Okay. And so that page is all done. And then, of course, we have some pictures of our lovely residents, okay, who are people that are just down on their luck and really have no place to live. And so they come to Potter's Workhouse hoping to find a safe haven where they can sleep and eat and be with their families. But yeah, it doesn't quite turn out to be like that. And so, yeah, I have 5 photos, and I just thought we could arrange them in some kind of a way so that we could see everyone's faces and manage to get all 5 of these lovely people's pictures onto the page here. And I think that this way might just work out for us. And so, yeah. Okay, if they hang over a little over the edge, that's all right. And then we have this lovely lady here. So yeah, I think that might actually be a nice way to arrange it. All right, so I'm just going to take and I'm going to start gluing them down. All right. So yeah, I have been working. I've been playing with my Tim Holtz stuff, and my goal in life, well, not my goal in life, but one of the things I want to do is to make a Tim Holtz style journal as gorgeous as Susie from Shabby Soul. She is just my hero when it comes to Tim Holtz journals. And that's what I've been working on. I've, borrowed some of her ideas. I don't want to say stole. I think I might just make these so that they're kind of evenly laid out, sort of in a little pattern there. I think that's what we're going to do. So I have been playing with all of my Tim Holtz ephemera and one of the, oh gosh, I forgot which one it is. I think it's the Pocket Folio. I'm pretty sure that's the one that it is. And borrowed ideas from other of Tim's makers. And I've been creating a little Halloween folio. It's not something I'd ever put up for sale because it's just too precious to me. But I will leave it out, at Halloween as a decoration for people to look at. How do we think we like that? Does that work out well? Can we still see everyone's faces? Or maybe we should just make him like so. And then we'll put these two on kind of a slant. I think we'll do that. All right, let's put him down first. But yeah, I just borrowed some ideas. I think one of the ideas that I borrowed was from Louisa Heinzel with something she had actually done on one of her Christmas makes, because I as soon as I finish the Halloween one, I want to start working on a Christmas one, because I have, of course, bought some of his Christmas stuff. I bought Christmas stuff last year, and I don't know, I fiddle-faddled around and just never seemed to actually do anything with it. But I bought this year's, and I bought a couple of packs of different things so that I had enough to go around. And I do have my stuff from last year. And so I'll probably be making a Christmas one too. And yep, I think we got them. Okay, I just want to be able to see everyone's faces. And of course, then this lovely lady can go right there, like that. Okay, all right, so now you see we have all of our residents. And like I said, I do have some papers picked out. There are some images in the kit, but they're half pages. And so in order to be able to utilize them, I'm trying to design a way of, I don't even know what it's called, use a different kind of binding rather than just stitching the pages into the seam here, like when after you create the signatures. I don't want to just stitch them all in, because they're all different sizes and they are such really cool images that I don't even want to bend them in half. So I don't know what it's called, but I can show you, but I just haven't designed it yet. The kind of binding I want to do. So there we go. So now we have our residents and our staff. Quite the contrast to our residents and our staff in our deceptive brochure. And so now let's move on. Oh, no, wait. We also have an automobile that will carry passengers should they need to leave the grounds, perhaps to go to the hospital. As you can see, there is a sharp contrast in what they look like. And so I thought we would just glue this little vehicle down. And I did have one little staff picture left over, but I think I'm going to make him the bus driver. Shall we call this a little bus? The Potter's Infirmary bus. And I thought we could glue that down on here, similar to what we did with the other one. And let's just make sure it's straight. So yeah, the kit's great. It has spooky ephemera in it and all sorts of things. Oh, I lost my picture. And this is one of the photos in there. And this is our bus driver. And so we're just going to glue his photo down as well. And you can see the pocket on the left-hand side of the brochure does have flowers on it, but, you know, I guess people wanted to, you know, make a little bit of fun of the deceptive brochure and add some flowered pages into this one. Okay, so here we go. Our staff, our residents, and our vehicle to get us places. And then, of course, we have to show what our accommodations truly look like. Okay, this would be the dentist. This is the stairway leading from the balcony landing to the first floor. This is one of the doctor's offices. I'm hoping you can see everything. Oh, and this is one of our guest bedrooms. So yeah, I thought we could use those, and I did have them laid out. I wanted to put them sort of in like a little pattern like so, you know, so that you could see everything in each picture. And put another little one here and another big one down there. But because I am working around my tripod, let's see if I can try and get these to be about equidistant from each other. So yeah, I think I'll put my first one there, and I'm going to grab my pencil because you know that's how I like to be sure I'm putting things in the same place that I lay them out. I'm going to make a little pencil mark there on the corner of that one, and a little pencil mark here on the corner of that one. And then we'll just do a little pencil here and here. And let's move this up a bit. And we'll just do a little pencil mark here and here. And this way we can glue our pictures down and they will end up where we wanted them. Okay, so yeah, you can take another look at the doctor's office. Okay. When I first saw this kit, it brought back memories of a place that was actually not far away from us when we still lived on Long Island in New York. And it was also a hospital, which is what the Potter's Infirmary is actually. In reality, that's what it is. It's not a spa. And this place that was back in New York, it was called Kings Park. And it was Kings Park Psychiatric Hospital. And it was one of, it had been shut down many, many, many years ago. And it had actually been run to ruins. And if you look up Kings Park Psychiatric Center in Kings Park and or Smithtown, New York, if you Google it, you should be able to bring up stories behind what that place was actually like and what they actually did there to the residents. It was shut down. It was still owned and controlled by the state, who had not torn it down. There were, I believe, 4 or 5 buildings. There may have even been 6 buildings. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I don't think that all of the buildings that were originally there were still there at the time that I lived on Long Island. But it was a psychiatric center. It had long been shut down. I believe it had been, lost its funding or whatever, or the state didn't want it in business anymore. But it was one of those horrible places where people got lobotomies and just terrible things. But the buildings were standing when my daughter was a teenager. And it had become like a neighborhood attraction. Where the teenagers had to go because it was supposedly haunted. And like these rooms in these pictures where you're seeing these old rusty beds, rusted wheelchairs and things like that, they were still, there were bits and pieces of them in this building. And as I said, it had been shut down. It had fallen to ruins. The state wouldn't tear it down because when it was built, of course, the big thing back then was to use asbestos in floor tiles and ceiling tiles and all sorts of stuff. The asbestos abatement would have cost them more than it cost them to have police patrolling the area and have fences put up and all sorts to keep kids out, because it was a place where children, not children, teenagers went and hung out and drank and did drugs. But the stories behind it are really, really spooky. In order to prevent our daughter from becoming fascinated with the building and perhaps ending up there with her friends late at night, because these kids would go, I think this building was 10 or 12 stories high, they would walk these staircases that were not the safest physically, and also because of all of the oh, I forgot, our accommodations doesn't fit on our tab. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring it down and we are going to center it on here, and I'm going to try and grab it. Our accommodations is going to go directly onto the page, which shows the lovely accommodations that you get when you are unwelcome to Potter's Infirmary. So yeah, there we go, guys. Okay, we have our contrasting brochures for life at Potter's End. And this would be what the real story is. And this is what the fake story was. So I hope you enjoyed putting that together. You can see I cut some papers and I've bended corners and I've roughed up all the edges and just done things to it. And like I said, I did create the words, and I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm not going to put them on my KoFi like I did for the coffin and the tags and all of that we made in our last video, because I don't want to step on Tracy's toes. If I speak to her and she says it's okay, then maybe I will do that. But we also have to fill our pockets. So these are some of the ephemera that come in the kit. We have the medical records and we have the admissions form. So I figured one of them could go in this pocket. And let's see, is the glue still wet? I don't know. I think it's okay. I'm going to take it back out though, but I just don't wanted to show you. And we do have this one, the admissions form, which we can tuck in this pocket over here. And then we have a couple of tags that we can also tuck into our pockets. We have our little skeleton dude, and we have another little skeleton dude, and then we have a very haunting looking young lady, which is also another tag. And so we can take those and we can tuck them in. And let's see, I think I'm going to pull this out because the glue is still kind of wet. Yeah, okay. So I think that what I'll do is I'll tuck this one in this pocket, like so. Okay, and we can just tuck that in. We'll put the little one over here because it's, no, we're going to keep the big, I keep changing. I'm going to put this one in here because they're both a little too big to fit into the pocket and not be affected by the glue. So what we'll do is we'll just take our littles and we'll put them over here. But yeah, as I was saying, we didn't want our daughter to end up there visiting with friends and, you know, being curious. So we took her there ourselves. And let me tell you, it's spooky. Whether or not it's actually haunted, whatever you would like to believe, it is spooky. And the cops do patrol. They don't really chase you out of the building. They do recommend that you don't go into the building because of broken glass and asbestos and things to that effect. But that's what this reminded me of. So this was kind of fun to create. And when, like I said, I do have pages. I'm going to go and I'm going to figure out a way to add them to this, and we'll come back and we'll do that. Or at least maybe I'll just show you how I did it. But yeah, welcome to Potter's Infirmary. And now I'll just give you a quick glimpse of what I've been doing. I've been working on a Tim Holtz journal, and I'm hoping that the windows aren't reflecting. But yeah, I borrowed an idea from Susie at Shabby Soul, and I used one of the windows and I created my little cover. I've created some little tags using the stickers from the sticker book. I'll just put those aside. And I am still working on it. And this is one of the pages that I created. And this one has nothing yet. This one's partially done. And I've been working on, this is another page that I created. Okay. And this is the fold out, which I am still working on. You can see I have little pieces in here, but I created the little fold out so that it looks like people are gathered together. Okay, and then just a quick glimpse. This is the back. Okay, so you can see I have gotten some of Tim's new Halloween ephemera. So yeah, that's what I've been playing with in lieu of actually having time to film videos. And so yeah, I'll still be working on that, and when it's done, I will give you a glimpse. But for now, I am going to send out lots of love and big hugs, and thank everyone for going over and checking everything out on KoFi. I haven't been on my KoFi, so I don't know how many people may have taken advantage of the freebie, but if you haven't, go over. My last video was a coffin tag, and I did do some drawing for it. And so, yeah, I'm going to send you lots of love and big hugs and ask you to please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And I will be back, and we'll be doing some work on the papers for this one. And then maybe I will do some Halloween cards with you, too. I've been thinking of doing that. I do have to make some. So maybe I'll just bring you along. Okay, guys? Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. I will link the kits in the description box below, and I will do my best to link the video. Okay, I think I know how to do it, and it should be good. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, and hi, Celeste. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.